pitfalls to steer clear of with your money in debt. Investing can be complicated. Most people listen to market experts to make decisions that will impact their lives and financial stability. It's good to have a basic understanding of why you're making the decisions you make with your money. Most investors lack the ability to time the market or to know when to buy and or sell securities, and the truth is, you don't need such skills either. In today's video, I'll be discussing pitfalls that you should avoid making this year. And if you can avoid them, you'll be on the right track with your money and your finances. Hi, allow me to welcome you to another video of Finance Sense. We cover all the latest trends in the financial markets and the economy. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new to our channel, and turn on the notification bell to keep posted. With that being said, let's start. Knowing to time or buy and sell in the market is like having superpowers. But the reality is the majority of you will never possess this superpower. So if you've been feeling down, I've got some excellent news for you. Most investors, especially guys in suits, lack this ability. But here's the thing, you don't need it either. You're not going to be able to hit the target with every single shot. But that is okay since you don't have to. You simply need to try to make better choices. It is a well-known fact that many individuals find investing difficult, particularly when it comes to selecting the best place for capital growth. However, there are a few financial pitfalls you ought to avoid this year. First, impatience. Impatience is a trait that many investors share. This causes widespread panic as well as severe financial losses. While patience is a trait that may be cultivated through time, it ought to be applied while investing. Maintain your composure and wait for the value of your investment to increase. So, be patient while investing, especially this year, and consider the state of the economy. Second, not creating a proper budget. A budget has numerous benefits, one of which is that it keeps you focused on your goals. It makes sure you don't spend money you don't have. It helps you plan for emergencies, it makes your retirement happier, and it exposes your bad spending patterns. It's not necessary to have a deep understanding of accounting's technical elements to create a budget. Simply keep track of your income and the amount you spend on living expenditures each month. The most helpful model for budget allocation is the 50-30-20 rule. Under this rule, you are allowed to spend 50% of your salary on needs like food and medical care. You can satisfy your wants with the remaining 30% of the money, such as buying new gadgets, taking a vacation, or treating yourself to a nice meal and a movie. The last 20% is the most significant part. When you have paid off all your outstanding bills, set this money aside so you can continue investing or saving. Third, attempting to time the market. The golden rule of investing is to buy low and sell high. Investors occasionally take that advice a bit too literally, which stresses them out and places too much focus on attempting to time the market. Consider making slow, steady progress while investing instead of trying to purchase the perfect stocks at the ideal time. This will better prepare you for retirement. Furthermore, you'll have a better chance of achieving long-lasting results if you approach investing from a long-term outlook. Invest slowly, focusing more on long-term development than on accumulating wealth quickly. Fourth, not having a defined investing strategy and goals. When you are certain of your financial goals, you can make better and more confident investment decisions. It helps you manage your money effectively, allowing you to stay prepared. Before you start investing, be sure you have clear investment goals. Plan out your financial goals thoroughly and sort them into 3 groups based on their short, mid, and long-term goals. For example, preparing for retirement may be your long-term objective, while buying a house could be your mid-term goal. Goals offer a sense of direction, and investment helps them become a reality. Fifth, take risks as you approach retirement. It is never too early to start thinking about retirement. The best time to build the foundation for an investment strategy that will produce the maximum returns when you retire is as soon as you start earning money. At this age, you are more willing to take risks, which allows you to invest in risky assets. Lower borrowing rates are another advantage of beginning early. Consequently, your burden, overall costs, and tax obligations are reduced. Additionally, you have a longer time which boosts your investment's profits. However, if you're a bit older, don't worry. Even though you may now be saddled with extra financial obligations, it is advisable to begin planning than neglect them. 6. Panic selling. Panic selling often occurs when investors try to time the market by buying and selling the most popular stocks. When they are scared, people may sell all of their shares of a particular stock at once. Investors that regularly engage in panic selling do so in an effort to prevent future losses. Panic selling, however, also contributes to the stock price falling even more. When the market is in a panic, maintain your composure. Stop reading the news and quit constantly monitoring your investments. 7th, failing to obtain insurance to protect your assets and life. In case of a tragedy such as a robbery or a car accident, insurance acts as a financial backup plan to help you and your loved ones. When you buy insurance, you'll get an insurance policy, which is a binding legal contract between you and your insurance provider. Insurance must be first on your list of priorities. In case of a tragedy, having insurance to protect your asset as well as yourself and your loved ones is crucial. Filing a life insurance claim is essential so your loved ones will be financially secure in the event of your death. 8. Neglecting your credit score. Your credit score is based on how well you've previously managed and repaid debt. Additionally, the sum of your secured and unsecured loan debt and the number of credit cards you have are considered. It measures how creditworthy you are. Banks and other financial organizations will evaluate your credit score before approving any loan. For instance, Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion are the USA's most well-known credit score providers. 9th, failing to understand how the stock market works. To invest in the stock market, you must have a basic understanding of how it works. Moreover, it would be advantageous if you were aware of global events. You must stay current on the news every day since every decision you make, regardless of how big or small, affects the stock market. But you can always invest in reputable stocks that are anticipated to increase in value over time. 10th, accumulating debt and delaying payments. Knowing where to begin when you have a mortgage, a car payment, credit card debt, and student loan debt may be challenging. But putting off paying the debt won't make it go away. In reality, it just makes things worse by trapping you more in the cycle of increasing interest rates and declining credit ratings. Before you begin your debt repayment plan, list all your balances and the interest rates associated with them. Prioritize high-interest loans because waiting longer will dramatically exacerbate the burden. 11th, not consulting with a financial advisor. Nowadays, it is highly recommended that you seek the assistance of a financial advisor who can provide sound advice on the proper ways to handle your finances. It is highly recommended that you seek the assistance of a financial advisor who can provide sound advice on the proper ways to handle your finances. The fact that your retirement and insurance are too important to be taken lightly makes it even more necessary to hold your advisors to the highest standards. A financial advisor has a moral and legal obligation to recommend an investment strategy that is in your best interests. That's why it's important to discuss your financial goals with your financial advisor so they can be taken into consideration when he or she is offering investment strategies. Hi, it looks like you've reached the end of this video. Thank you for watching this far. Please subscribe and give a like if you enjoyed it, and comment your thoughts in the comment section below. This is Finance Sense, helping you keep up with all the latest trends in the financial markets and the economy. See you around!